First of all, thanks, Stephen, for inviting me. I'm so glad to be here. I love London. It's my favorite city. And I'm here not just to speak, I'm actually here to learn. So I learned a lot this morning from Neil, from Claire. Thank you very much. So I'm a kind of a mixed bag, as Stephen was saying. I have been in the business for 40 years, but actually I started at 8. But I guess I'm the mixed bag that crosses advertising. I'm the first to get into social media, e-commerce, and now into new retail. So I think, very lucky to be always at the forefront of change. I never, ever want to go to China until my clients forced me to go there in 1989. I'm the first, which is Wrigley's chewing gum. So what I have seen and very lucky to experience is in over the last 30 years, the opening of China, and how I have helped to build all these Western practices, all these multinational experience, all these, I think I've launched over 100 foreign brands in China, bring Western best practice in branding into the East. But what's happening in the last 10 years is changing very quickly because China is actually getting pretty advanced in digital. So today what I'm going to cover is what's happening in China today, some of the digital trends, how it is, the marketing is being reshaped, and give you a very interesting case, which is called Luckin Coffee. So this is actually, I think, also Financial Times published this. This is 2019 top most valuable global brands in the world. In 2016, there are no Chinese brands. Not about top 10, even top 50 in terms of value. They may be big, but they're not very valuable. But what has changed is you can see two there, Alibaba and Tencent. Why? Because these companies are extremely big and they're doing everything you can imagine. They're crossing everything you can imagine. Take Tencent, for example. They are into your life. Everybody talks the super app from the time you get up. You watch the news, you go on your social, you play your music, watch video, news, order your taxi, order your meals, everything can be just on Tencent, and they're making money. Same with Alibaba, they also making a lot of money. They never lost money, but it is not just about e-commerce, they have a complete ecosystem to help you so that if you're a little businessman, you don't have to bother about any technology, you don't have to build your website, you don't have to worry about courier logistics. I have set up e-commerce and I don't need an ITT. You just put your product there, you just concentrate on the selling to do everything for you. And that is why it is growing so fast in China. It's a complete ecosystem. So they are enabling you from everything from distribution, marketing, supply chain, data, remarketing, and now all of them are concentrating on cloud, on data, and on AI. So technology has really changed the culture of China. Everything is social. Everything is all on mobile. And it's all about content, also about narrative, as Neil was saying. So you can do a lot of what they call IP. And very importantly, everything is now is cashless. So if you go to China and you don't have your phone that you can pay, like a WeChat Pay, you're in trouble because most places don't accept cash anymore. Taxis don't accept cash, a lot of restaurants don't accept cash. And if you pay cash, you look at you like, where are you from? So today, it is a very digital economy. It is certainly very cashless. Everything is QR code. You always scan your QR code. It's the biggest e-commerce market in the world and extremely widespread of social and mobile. Everywhere in the world is the biggest market there. And so why is it so? So I want to talk about some trends here. First is very fast adoption of technology by the consumer. So on the picture on the left is a hotel we went to for our own conference, our internal conference. And this is in the bottom of a mine. Okay, it takes 12 years to build. But what is unique about this hotel? Everything is voice enabled. Open your curtains, set your alarm clock, everything is voice enabled. But again, if you don't speak Chinese, then you're in trouble too. And then on the right is that this is just an ordinary hotel. So I was like, where's the Japanese restaurant? Well, I'll take you there, but it's not the person, it's a robot will take you there. And this is really popular everywhere. Everywhere is voice recognition, facial recognition, etc. So technology is being widely used. Secondly, is the people. The people buy for social. We talk about Generation Z, which is defined as people born after 1995. So they are really important because they expect to account for 40% of spending power by the year 2025. And they don't need anything anymore. There are too many brands, okay? They have no need anymore. But they buy for social. It is the shortcut to getting recognized. And they have a lot of spending power because most of these people live with their parents. They don't, it's like 6-1, they have grandparents, parents all helping them. And if you're a young person, if you have a son, the father or your family is expected to buy a house for him to get married. So they don't have to pay for anything, so they can spend. But they want to buy really for social to express themselves. And if they want anything, they want it right now, okay? They don't need to do any savings. And if you look at their behavior, everything is about interactive content. So if you look at really the most influential is key opinion leaders. They always look at, they may not be celebrities, okay? But always look at videos, what people recommend. It's always about friends' recommendation now, even more important than whatever brand said. Fourth is the use of smart data, not just big data. As I said, these big companies, they cross everything of your life and they collect your data. And they into all kinds of your behavior, your interests, and everything. And if you can put all this and map it out, you have a very, very good profiling of who you should target. So for example, Tencent can help you if you go into a retail store. If you give them, of course you have to raise your hand and say, okay, I'm willing. And through WeChat, they have your phone number. They can help you identify not just what you bought, also what you haven't bought. Because with heat maps, because they know which you have, oh, I always go shop here, but why is there so much traffic, but nobody's buying it? So maybe something wrong with your pricing or your sizing or whatever it is. They can also help you identify store locations, knowing where the members are going to, where is really the customers going to. So this data is really helping you make very good marketing decisions. And Alibaba is not just an e-commerce platform because they invest in many other things as well. So they can combine your purchase behavior with your interest behavior. So a good example is Dyson. Dyson launched only a few years ago in China. It is very expensive, not only because it's high cost, but compared to the income in China. So how to say they sell Dyson products? So first they went on Alibaba's Tmall, and who are the people who are actually buying it? So they actually don't know. What they find is the assumption that only people in big cities, maybe they have more spending power buying it, is wrong. It's got nothing to do with location. It's got more to do with interest. So what they did was they matched people who buy with what they're posting on Weibo to see what is their interest. And they found, sorry, this is in Chinese, the biggest bubble are pet owners. So apparently the pet owners are the ones who are more likely to buy. And next was, I think, is music. So as a result, they produce a lot of content aimed at pet owners and go to these community sites for pet owners and get viral because it's very targeted and very relevant. Another good example is this is a use of data. This is Anchor, which is a brand of milk, and they want to promote the fact that they're selling fresh milk. So how do you do fresh milk? So they collaborated with two other parties. One is an online news platform, 24 hours, an aggregator of news. And then one is a supermarket that sells fresh. So every day from midnight, they stop, look at what is the biggest news of the day. Then from midnight to 4, they print that news on the bottle, as you can see there. And then it goes to the store before 6 a.m. So every morning when you go to the store, you see the latest news. It's got to be fresh, right? So this is a very good example of use of big data. 5 is that it's no longer just about e-commerce. We always talk about new retail. So, the Alibaba has this Double 11, which is the biggest shopping day in the world, and it continuously hit new targets. Why is it doing so well? It's not just people already buying online. They've got too many. So the reason why they keep growing is because they are targeting non-e-commerce retailers. So they're targeting mom and pop stores, people who don't go online, and that's why they're getting so big. So we don't talk about O2O, online to offline anymore. That's a little bit out of date. We talk about OMO, online merged with online. So it is about the aggregation. There's no line anymore, okay? So you can choose whatever you want to do, whatever your mode is. Example, this is Hema. I found that there was one in Amsterdam, but this is not the same one. Hema is this offline supermarket, just like Amazon Go, that Alibaba has keep opening up. The difference is, apart from you scan your QR code and you don't have to use cash and all that, is they sell a lot of fresh foods, like seafood, lobsters, fish. People like to eat fresh. So you can pick your own and weigh your own and touch it. And the other thing is, we know it's all experience, because online there's no experience. Most people don't know how to cook now. I don't know about you guys, but young people don't know how to cook. So you can also have it cooked right there, and you can taste it. If you don't like it, okay, fine, you can bring it home. And whatever you order, you see up there, there's those things up there, they already have it delivered at the cashier, so you can pack it and go, or they have people in the scooters, okay, ready to deliver to you within 30 minutes to your home. So it's really combining off and online very efficiently. Even hot pot restaurant. This is a very typical hot pot restaurant in China, very famous for their service. They have to wait maybe 1 or 2 hours. And in the past, they give you free peanuts, free drinks, paint your fingernails, entertain you, and all that stuff. But now, what they've done is use robotics. So the back-end kitchen use all these robotics to solve one problem: food safety. So when you order, because they are all uncooked food, the robots will prepare for you and deliver it to you. Then in the big room where they used to have you wait, they now have big screen. You can play interactive games with people you like or you don't know. Okay, so this is the new world, and then the whole atmosphere can be transformed right away. So about new retail, I think some of you may have heard about this. This is always very much talked about. This is our interpretation of retail, which is changing the way marketing is done. It's always about 3 things: people, which we call target, product or experience, and third, the place or the channel. These used to be separated in the past, but now it's combined. It's got to be combined. So for target, we don't talk about who is my target, who's the end user anymore. More important is first find your first level of seed users, your core users. Make them talk about you. Because you spend a lot of money on advertising, people draw traffic to the store, and then people find, oh, nobody's buying it, nobody's making good comments, they will not buy it, no matter what you say. So get people to talk about you first. Get your key opinion leaders, get your influencers to talk about you. Second, product is not just about the product strategy, it's the content strategy as well. Content is important, and also your service. It's not just about the channel. Create any channel, because you're creating the moment of the occasion of needs. The media is a moment. The consumption, the place where you can, is actually also a moment. So today we talk about not just the brand strategy, but more important, it's the content strategy and how it fits into all your different occasions and media. And finally, in order to do this new retail, you've got to have a whole picture. I have been running an ad agency for many years, but I think my experience in 2013 of running e-commerce helped me a lot. Because in the past, I just spend the client's money. Okay, spend as well. What is my return? I don't know. How much can I sell? I don't know. I can't promise you anything. But because I have ran e-commerce, which is I actually, I help Campbell Soup, Cousins Butter Cookies, Temple, many brands. Actually, I have to sell it. Now I understand their difficulty. So now I do things in reverse. Think of with the end in mind. You give me something, I would think, okay, you want to sell that much? No, not possible, not possible. Because you can look online and see what is the category and how much they can really sell. Where are you going to get those consumers and which channel? Then work backwards, okay? So you have to have the whole picture. So we talk about now the closed loop marketing. It's not just about 1P promotion, it's about the 4Ps. Creativity should cross the 4 Ps. What is your product concept? What is your pricing? Pricing can be creative too. Where do you sell? That can be creative too, before you go into your promotion. Of course, we can do integrated communication, but think of your omni-channel, think of product as a concept, because all products are the same. You go to any OEM manufacturer, they are all the same. It's the concept that is different, okay? And that's creativity. I have examples, but I don't have time to talk about that today. So, you know this purchase funnel. We all know that purchase funnel, right? And we used to do that. But as I said, now we may not start from the top. Now we may start from the bottom. That is, how are you going to get just your core users to recommend you first? And then we do the awareness and drive them there. And how are we going to use multi-channels to create a overview, 650-degree view of your customer? And you really can do that today, okay, if you have a very good strategy. So I believe the agency of 21st century must be data-driven. You must know how to use data, because there's a lot out there, but it's about smart data. As Neil said, you must be tech-enabled. You must still use your creativity here to do all the 4 Ps. But most importantly, everything we do is got to drive business growth. It's no use to have everybody tweet, oh, I really like it, there's a lot of engagement. So what if it's not driving sales? We believe that every engagement, if it's not driving sales, is users' engagement. And you can track it now. So what we do is now to create a model. Now we don't have to be your social agents. We don't have to be your e-commerce company, whatever. But we have to know what data you need to collect for us to put into the central pool before we can segment, before we can test all these different offers, messages, and optimize, and keep optimizing our message, okay, and grow your business. So I just want to end with one case, which has been a very successful case for us last year. It's called Luckin Coffee. How many of you have heard of Luckin Coffee? Wow, quite a lot, thank you. So this is an entirely new brand that we launched in January of 2018. The reason why the client went to the coffee business is because you can see we have very low per capita consumption of coffee, okay? And that's a reason why. I don't know why in Finland they drink so much, but apparently they do. It's because coffee is still too expensive, okay, in China. And it is not everywhere, so it's not as accessible, it's not very convenient. But people are now looking for convenience. You know, people nowadays don't go all the way out there. They live within their vicinity because everything can be ordered online, delivered online, etc. So we're talking about much shorter distances. We're talking about consumption. So what we're now trying to do with Luckin, we're not doing product marketing. We're doing user marketing. Again, what I said, identify who your core users are, see if they are really your core users, and really, really market them. So we identify them as this white-collar young generation, upwardly mobile people. And what are they like? Decentralized living. Okay, they just live within this world. So all these nerds, they don't even go out of their home. And we have to use behavioral targeting, and they have to be spontaneous. So we aimed at 3 things. Okay, first of all, we must have a good quality product. We must be better than Starbucks. So the client buy these coffee beans from the same suppliers, but 30% more expensive. However, we got to be affordable. So we are 40% cheaper. If they're 38 RMB per cup, for reference, we're 24. Okay, we make it much more affordable. And also, we should be everywhere. Now, how do you do that? How can you have, this doesn't make sense, right? The business, it does. And I'll tell you why in a moment. Also, our strategy is we are not the 3rd place. Because the 3rd place means you pay a lot of money in rent. We're saving all the money in rent in order to give you better quality, because we're any moment. You should drink the coffee anytime. So you should not go for the coffee should come to you. So better quality, cheaper. The only thing is, you have to download our app on your mobile phone. Even if you go to the store, you cannot pay cash. You have to use the app. And we do very few flagship stores, big stores. We only have 1 per city. most of them are relaxed stores, just a few tables, and many, many pickup stores, okay, so that we can be ubiquitous everywhere, because people don't have to go there. And so you can pick up a coffee, use your app to order. We know where you are. This is the nearest location. We can even deliver to you within 30 minutes or free. Because you are using the app, this is mobile. We know where you are. We know your time. We can give you the right scenario, the right moment, create the right usage occasion. So for example, right now, we send you an ad in your mobile saying, hey, you're very bored, right? The speaker is so boring. You want a cup of coffee? Okay, order it, and will be delivered. You can pick it outside within 30 minutes. So, however, brand is still very important. No? It's not just about price. So we have to create the brand world. If Starbucks is green, we're blue. Okay, so we create this blue and white authentic. And we did also an image commercial for them. And so we're saying we're not for packaging, not for place, we're just a cup of good coffee. Don't ask me why it's called Luckin Coffee. There's no reason why. It is not picked by the agency. It's not even picked by the client. It's picked by the lawyer. Because we only have a few days to register the name. Every name you can imagine by the agency has already been registered. So the easier way is ask the lawyer what hasn't been registered and pick from there. So our idea, this is the creative, is a cup of imagination. I'll show you a video.
Luckin Coffee， 这一杯谁不爱？
谁不爱？
So they are two actually very famous celebrities, and they help still build our image. So we used these on your moments, like WeChat Moments, which is social advertising. The other thing we'll also use is traditional media. It really works because you have to seem like it's popular when you're not really there. So it's all location based. If we have a shop here, we put this on moments, and then we advertise in elevators. So you always see it because you're always the same group of people. We end up in the store, we advertise in elevators. So you think you've always seen it, but actually we don't spend a lot of money. The most important thing of promotion, though, that we use is using each one of you to do the advertising for us. So what we did is we offer you a coupon. If you drink our coffee, if you send these coupons to your friends, and if your friend download the app and they order, they get a free cup, but you get a free cup too. And because it's recommended from you, they are most likely to download it. Okay, so it's what we call social fishing. So be my guest and all that. So this is really the key marketing tools that we use. And as I said, very on-target media and interesting mobile ads. So this is the result in 12 months' time, from 1 city to 22 cities, 1 shop to over 2,000 stores. Now we have over 3,000 stores because this is from end of 2018. And they went IPO within 18 months on NASDAQ. So this is a very interesting story of how a Chinese brand, completely Chinese brand, has completely disrupted the brand leader Starbucks in a business they've been for many years. And I think the key learning is you have to understand what is your core competence. The client's core competence is not really in making coffee. The client's core competence is in the app, because they used to be, they also are owners of a very famous car rental app. So they have always been the car rental business, like Uber business for many years. So they really have done it to a science. When you download the app, where you are, how to map the driver for you. So now Starbucks is copying them to do delivery, but it's going to be very hard for them to understand how to use of their data. It's also IoT, Internet of Everything. So with the data, they can optimize their operation. They know which one should, you order how much inventory. So it's a very, very interesting model. So I think in today's marketing, if you want to go to China, understand how to work with the new digital economy. As I said, don't waste your money. You don't have to build anything. I did my mistake. I was successful in doing we-social and e-commerce, but really very bad in doing we-technology. This is the worst thing I have done because you can never be fast enough. So I have to learn how to use it, but also redefine marketing. Think about people differently. Think about your product differently. Think about creating occasions and not just channels. And you should disrupt with a new business model and really a brand idea. Then you have a very good chance to win. So it's really everything, whatever we do at the end of the day, is about unforgettable experiences. So this is, we can chat more. QR code, right? So this is a QR code. in case you don't have, you do have a WeChat. So thank you very much.